Hey everyone, welcome into Siren Records Monterey. It's Fresh Catch Friday. I hope you've been having a great week. Hi, if you're new here, this is where we talk about some of the new releases, reissues, and represses that came out on vinyl this week or have finally trickled in and came out a few weeks ago. There's a pile of stuff here. There's actually much more to it, but I'm just giving you a sampling of some of the new stuff that happened this week here. And if you like, to know about new vinyl and what's going on, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button and come and join us. And anyway, I always start out with a pick of the week, and then we post the list down below in alphabetical order. Pretty much, and you can kind of follow along. Now, some of the stuff that'll be on the list is not here in the pile. We can't, be sitting here for hours talking about this stuff. I'm going to get through it as quick as I can because I know that you're just trying to get information. So there's a little wheel down below, and you can kind of speed up the speed of this to go, faster and skip to the part that you may or may want to hear. So, all right, first of all, pick of the week. Now, you guys know my favorite band in the world is My Morning Jacket, and this is a deluxe version of Circuital, which was their Grammy-nominated 6th LP, and it is an absolutely very fine LP. The thing about this, it features the original album plus 10 unreleased demos. And it's on colored vinyl. And Rolling Stone wrote in 2012 that Circuital feels like the culmination of the sonic adventures that began with Z, while also capturing the power and dynamics that have made MMJ one of the greatest live bands of our generation now. And it's true, but I don't know that this is the culmination of that sonic journey because they have kept it going. This album came out in 2011, and this new expanded version, it features, like I said, that original album with these 10 previously unreleased demo recordings. And there's 3 unique vinyl variants on this, and that includes what they're calling Setting Sun, which is an orange vinyl mixed with kind of a bright transparent yellow. There's one they call Lucifer's Beach. That's the opaque blue and ultra clear marble colored vinyl. That's really the one that I'm after. And Lucifer's Beach is like a nod to Holding On to Black Metal lyric that's in there surfing Lucifer's Beach. So, I'm kind of after that one. Anyway, Inner Light is the neon magenta vinyl mixed with ultra clear swirl. The way to tell the colors on these is by what color the eye is. And they're all random when you order them from the distributor ATO. You just get what you get. And our first round that came in are the pink vinyl, the magenta, the one that they're calling Inner Light. So anyway, I know I'm after Lucifer's Beach, but who the hell are we kidding? I'll probably end up getting them all anyway. But it's actually very good looking magenta and neon and splatter vinyl. It's really cool. So in addition to that, the 3 of these feature glow-in-the-dark triple gatefold jacket with expanded artwork and zoetrope LP labels. You know those zoetrope things where you get the light and as it spins, it like makes some kind of almost like a little movie for you, that kind of thing. It has a fold-out poster with unreleased studio photos, a special MMJ owl graphic side etching. Anyway, this was recorded in Louisville in a church gymnasium at that time, and it's just as adventurous as the previous 2 discs, that 2005's Z, which is really that. It's so hard for me to pick a favorite MMJ album. It might be Z, though. That's when they got Bo Coster on keyboards and Carl Bromell on guitar. They got Bo and Carl right then, and that was like when this band really came into their own, and it's been just magic ever since then. But anyway, then also 2008 Evil Urges came out, but anyway, this one is a little more organic and focused. And My Morning Jacket, they should be celebrated as a band that tirelessly delivers a value for money every time, and there's enough in here to keep you listening to this for months on end and loving every goddamn minute of it. I know I will be. Okay, I could talk about them for the whole time, but I'm gonna wrap it up there. Do yourself a favor. So good. Okay, so let's get on with this pile. I'm going to try to cut down and any unnecessary chat because we got to get through this. I know. All right, first up, Jose Alfonso, Cantigas do Meao. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyway, it's on the Maze 5 label, legendary album series by the exceptional Portuguese artist and freedom fighter Jose Alfonso, who's one of the most influential and singers and composers in Portugal. Born in 1929, he became an icon in Portugal for the role his music played in the resistance against the dictatorial Estado Novo regime. Anyway, with over 15 albums were released, and he played all over the world, and is still considered a pioneering activist for human rights. And his music is like the soundtrack to resistance of political oppression. So this came out in, I think, 1971. Anyway, reissued now. All right, this is called Anywhere, and it's self-titled on Org Music. It's their debut album from the West Coast supergroup that features Christian Eric Below from Triclops and Liquid Indian, Cedric Bixler Zavala from the Mars Volta, Mike Watt from the Minutemen and Firehose, and Toshi Kasai, Big Business, Rachel Fan from Sleepy Sun, Black Mountain. Anyway, Black Mountain. This project captures the sound of this intersection of Eastern acoustic music, psychedelia, and punk rock. And it's a collective of seasoned musicians here. Originally released this record in 2012 via ATP Recordings. Now Org Music is reissuing this special project a decade after its initial release. The pressing is limited to 1,000 copies worldwide, pressed on the electric blue vinyl, and it tells you that on the sticker. And it features artwork from visual artist Sunny K. Okay. Next up, this is Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga, Cheek to Cheek Live, 2 LPs from Streamline Interscope. Their concert recorded at Jazz at Lincoln Center's Friedrich P. Rose Hall in New York in 2014, and it later aired on PBS as part of their Great Performances series. So now 2 LPs on 180-gram vinyl. I believe that this was a Record Store Day release a couple of weeks ago, but here we are. They're just releasing it, out as a normal release too. Next up, Mary J. Blige, Good Morning Gorgeous. The label is 300 Entertainment. So, she's an iconic Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter. She's an Oscar-nominated actress, producer, philanthropist. Mary J. Blige is a figure of inspiration. Anyway, she's got this intensely loyal fan base. They're really responsible for propelling worldwide sales for her for excess of 50 million albums. So this is her 15th studio album, Good Morning Gorgeous. It resonates with female empowerment anthems, soulful torch songs, energetic tracks, and it includes the singles Amazing featuring DJ Khaled and the title track Good Morning Gorgeous and Rent Money featuring Dave East. The album release led to this historic performance. You guys maybe remember it from the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show last year, or this year, I guess. Wasn't it? I don't know. It was within the last year. Anyway, the show at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood alongside Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, and Kendrick Lamar. It was in February. That's when it was. So this deluxe version is 2 LPs on gold vinyl, includes 5 new songs, and ready to go. Okay, next up we have Club Nouveau. This is Life, Love, and Pain on Tommy Boy Music. This is the debut album by this Sacramento-based club band, Club Nouveau, that was released originally in 1986. First time pressed since 1987, the album contains songs like Jealousy, Situation Number 9, and Why You Treat Me So Bad, and a cover of Bill Withers' Lean on Me. The last 2 tracks reached the number 2 spot on the R&B charts, and it is on limited remastered pink vinyl, this pressing. Okay. This here is Dead Meadow, Force Form Free on Blues Funeral Recordings. Spacey and dreamy at times, grimly propulsive at others, captures one of the most important bands in modern heavy psych, continuing their effortless exploration of the transporting astral gazing form they've spent their entire existence pushing forward. That should have been on some kind of colored vinyl, but it's not indicating that. So there we go. This one is on colored vinyl, though, and this is Devo, Somewhere with Devo, on MVD audio. So the Somewhere with Devo suite was performed live one night only as the encore for the band's Total Devo concert at the Palace in Hollywood, California in December of 1988. The Devo remix set by DJ Kinky from 2010 is also included here, and it's on this translucent gold with red kind of swirl vinyl, and that's very, very fetching, very nice. Okay, here's some reissues of some Duran Duran albums. All You Need Is Now on BMG, their 13th studio album produced by Mark Ronson. RSD Essentials here. It's the indie colorway exclusive, and it's 2 LPs on magenta colored vinyl, kind of like this color here. And it tells you magenta vinyl right here on the sticker. Let's see. It's the first time on colored vinyl. It peaked at number 11 in the UK, becoming the band's 13th top 20 album. It debuted at 119 on the Billboard 200 chart on its initial 2010 digital release, selling 15,000 copies in its first week, and it reached number 29 upon its physical release in March of 2011. Anyway, back in print now, first time on colored vinyl. And the next one is Duran Duran Astronaut, also BMG, 11th studio album. First time on colored vinyl. It's milky clear. That's indicated on the sticker. It's been out of print since the original pressing in 2004. It appears to have been released in the U.S. only. Duran Duran's first studio album since Seven and the Ragged Tiger in 1983. To be recorded by the most famous 5-member lineup of the band. Okay, all back. Nile Rodgers did preliminary production work for several tracks. It debuted at number 3 on the UK album chart and at number 17 on the Billboard 200. It's had also like a Billboard Hot Dance Club play chart, that kind of stuff, okay? And then finally, this one is Red Carpet Massacre, also BMG. This is an RSD Essential Indie Colorway, the exclusive transparent ruby vinyl LP. This is also a double. It's been out of print since the only pressing in 2009, which appears to have been in the U.S. only, on only 2,000 copies. It debuted at 44 on the album chart, 36 on Billboard 200. Album features production from Timbaland on 3 tracks: Night Runner featuring Justin Timberlake, Skin Divers, and Zoom In. So that's kind of nice. People have been waiting on those. They're now available again on this nice colored vinyl. Okay, now we've got some reissues from the Dwarves. This one is Sugar Fix, and it's on the Greedy label. This is the 90s punk classic album here, returns with bonus tracks and expanded art. It includes Anybody Out There, Smack City, Down by the River, and Saturday Night. And also from the Dwarves, we have Thank Heaven for Little Girls on the Greedy label. This includes Satan, Speed Demon, Dairy Queen, Lucky Tonight. Reissue is expanded to include bonus tracks and new art. See, when I start talking fast, though, too, my throat dries out. Don't want to start coughing on you. Echo and the Bunnymen, Evergreen. This is on London Records. This is an anniversary of this. In 1997, after a lengthy hiatus, Echo and the Bunnymen returned to the fore with Evergreen, revealing kind of a brighter side of the band and standing up with any of their earlier work. The self-produced album was recorded at the Doghouse in Henley-on-Thames, with additional strings, horns, and vocals recorded at Abbey Road Studios. The album saw the band rightfully returned to the UK album charts. They had 3 singles off of this, entering the UK top 50. I'm not but it didn't say what number. I'm sorry. So anyway, there's a track on here, Nothing Lasts Forever, with backing vocals and tambourine by Liam Gallagher from Oasis. And it's grown to become one of the band's most enduring and well-loved songs. It's a UK top 10 and a fan favorite to this day. So to celebrate its 25-year anniversary, London Records released Evergreen on vinyl for the very first time, and with a limited pressing in solid white vinyl. It is indicated on the sticker. I don't know why an album called Evergreen would be pressed on white vinyl. That kind of seems like a little bit blow in life, but, you know, I get they have their reasons. This is a strange little record. This is Fireside. It's called Bin Juice, and it's on Star Tracks. 8 songs are a great statement, even if there are some sections which feel kind of a bit too lengthy on this. So if you like the style of the Scandinavians, you definitely should have a listen. It'll give you kind of a great feeling. The Wikipedia entry for the Swedish band Fireside kind of states they're not active anymore. So, grab it while you can if that's something you'd be interested in. Here's Neil Francis, Sentimental Garage. This is on ATO. This collects a number of standout tracks recorded during the original album sessions at the Parsonage, Francis's DIY studio at St. Peter's Church in Chicago, alongside newly recorded cover versions of classic songs by Shuggie Otis. It's called Strawberry Letter 23 and the 3 Degrees Collage. So this is on opaque white vinyl, available for you now. This one is a repress of Future Islands on the Water. This is on Thrill Jockey, the third album by the synth pop band Future Islands. The album was originally released in 2011. It was recorded at a friend's house in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, between March and May of 2011. Wyoke's Jen Wasner duets on The Great Fire here. So On the Water draws from this imagery and movement of the sea. It's less intent on bringing drama or the fury that like In the Evening Air was, that previous record. But it's reflections on aging and memory kind of accumulating into something that's really surprisingly moving. It's on clear with high melt orange, blue, and pink vinyl streaks. All these colors, kind of streaky. This is Justin Golden. It is Hard Times in a Woman, and it's on the Justin Golden music label. Blues just isn't, 12 bars and a sad story. On this debut record, the guitarist and songwriter Justin Golden showcases this full breadth of the genre, and it's downstream influences, everything from traditional Piedmont blues to indie rock and beyond. Okay, Golden was raised on the Virginia coast, and it's steeped in distinctive regional Piedmont blues, the center part of the state. But his listening habits are wide, and the new record is equal parts Taj Mahal and his Golden Messenger, some Blind Boy Fuller, and some Bon Iver. So it's got real fuzzed out guitar, keys, and harmonica. They meld together with he's really a deft finger picking and laid back grooves that this guy brings. It's a nice album. He's got deep blues bona fides, and that stands out how effortlessly he weaves together his influences into this tapestry of this project that he's done. It's nice. Okay, this is Gunna. It's DS Forever, and it's on 300 Entertainment. So Sergio Giovanni Kitchens, he's known professionally as Gunna. He's an American rapper, singer, and songwriter. He's signed to Young Thug's record label YSL Records. The album features guest appearances from Future, Young Thug, 21 Savage, Kodak Black, Chloe, Lil Baby, G Herbo, Nietzsche, Young Blue, Chris Brown, and Roddy Ricch. And I just say those names because if you're into this stuff, those guests mean something to you. So it serves as the fourth and final installment of Gunna's Drip Sessions series, 2 LPs on silver-colored vinyl. Now, it doesn't say silver on anywhere on here, but that it is. All right, this is Harakiri for the Sky, and then it's MMXXII, and you guys are so good about keeping me educated with my Roman numerals because I'm pretty challenged with those. So this actually means 2022. It's on AOP Records. Thank you for the assist. Harakiri for the Sky is an Austrian post-black metal band formed in Salzburg and Vienna in 2011 by vocalist JJ and multi-instrumentalist Matthias Solak, formerly of black metal band Bifrost. So as pioneers of the post-movement, mixing haunting black metal with post-rock moments, the Austrians have ever since their conception in 2011, drawn fans and critics deeper and deeper into their maelstrom of melancholy, self-hate, and anger, and even reached number 4 in the German charts, number 22 in Switzerland, and 35 in Austria, 78 in indie rock charts UK. So there you go. They got that now. This is Calvin Harris, Funk Wave Bounces Volume 2 on Columbia Europe. This is the 6th studio album by Scottish DJ and record producer Calvin Harris. It was released in August. The producer meshes a wistful grab bag of influences, new disco, funk, boogie, soul, and his skill for creating like these megawatt pop hits is taking listeners on a journey, like a real, psychedelic trip. But the guest appearances on this are like Six Lack, 21 Savage, Busta Rhymes, Chloe, Doneo, Halsey, Lato, Lil Durk, Dua Lipa, Offset, Pusha T, Charlie Puth, Snoop Dogg, Justin Timberlake, Pharrell Williams, Young Thug. He just has a lot of friends that carry a lot of weight, so he can put a lot of like big time guests on his record. There you go. All right, this is a reissue of Idol's Brutalism on the Partisan label. So to celebrate the 5th anniversary of their incredible debut album, they created this special limited edition. This version is pressed on cherry red vinyl. Originally released in 2017, Brutalism was like heralded as the return to loud rock by a band with feelings that they were not afraid to share and shout them with you. So Idols are a band that transcends expectations and styles. Yeah, they rock. Yes, they're caustic, they're loud, but this it's a stunning debut LP because they also know like love and care and heartbreak. It's not just like screaming angst. And this album saw them successfully channel the energy of their live performance into this studio epic. And this album, it's like mosh pit personified: fury, sweat, excitement, aggression, happiness, and everyone looking out for each other. And it's nice to have this like beautiful cherry red vinyl, and I believe this is new album art too. Okay, this is part of the RSD Essentials. This is Etta James, Tell Mama from Bear Family, classic blues record made remastered from the original tapes on 180-gram virgin vinyl. Etta James' greatest ever album and one of the greatest soul LPs of all time. Original stereo version remastered from the original tapes. Contains the hits Tell Mama and Security. It also contains the original version of the blues classic I'd Rather Go Blind, which is such an amazing song, and recorded with the Muscle Shoals session guys at Fame Studio. This is on opaque yellow vinyl. All right, and then we have Joywave, and it's Joywave Live, but they're pronouncing it live, but it is a live album. It's on Hollywood Records. They're an American indie rock band from Rochester, New York. They formed in 2010. They released their first live album featuring live versions of 20 songs, including We Are All We Need, recorded in San Diego, and many more. Double LP pressed on 140-gram apple red and sky blue vinyl. So that is Joywave Live. Next up, we have Christmas. This is Alicia Keys, Santa Baby, on the Alicia Keys label. This is an 11-track album, features her soulful, raw, fresh reimagining of 7 beloved holiday hits and 4 originals that were written by Alicia. The album was recorded this summer while she was on her sold-out European tour. And she says, I love this music. It feels so good. I picked each song based on my all-time favorites, and I wrote the new ones based on real holiday emotions and stories. The holidays are such a beautiful time to slow down and be with the ones you love and make meaning. Santa Baby is definitely going to be the perfect holiday soundtrack, and she says she cannot wait for you to fall in love with it. All right, then we have Lake Street Dive. This is Fun Machine, the sequel, and it's on the Fantasy label. So Fun Machine, the sequel, is their second set of distinctive cover songs. While 2012's Fun Machine, Volume 1, I guess, paid homage to their classic R&B, soul, and jazz roots, Fun Machine, the sequel, expands the aperture wider, featuring selections from R&B pop favorites like Dionne Warwick's Anyone Who Had a Heart, the Pointer Sisters, their funky song Automatic, and the Cranberries, the gorgeous song Linger. Carole King's classic, So Far Away, and Shania Twain's pop country anthem, You're Still the One. 180-gram LP on exclusive tangerine colored vinyl, limited to 3,000. I really like Late Street Dive. I think that their singer Rachel has a beautiful voice, but they really just know how to, meld things into such a cool way. I think they're great. This is Amos Lee, My Ideal, on the Dual Tone Music Group label. His newest full-length effort here, My Ideal, singer-songwriter Amos Lee, he reanimates the songs of Chet Baker, and working with material sourced from 1954's Chet Baker Sings includes like My Funny Valentine and I Fall in Love Too Easily. Lee and his well-oiled jazz quartet deliver 14 gorgeous recordings that are at once expansive and understated, intimate and ambient, and the perfect soundtrack for holiday gatherings of every variety. So that's a nice album too. Next up we have Madlib High Jazz. This is on the Madlib Invasion label. Sorry. Madlib's Medicine Show series gets jazzy for the 7th volume in the series here. So by now you should all know Madlib is an exceptionally talented at making mind-blowing mixes, and he creates beats and producing, composing, arranging rich, beautiful jazz music. Okay, High Jazz is proof once again, a collection of 15 completely original jazz tracks produced entirely by Madlib and played by a wide collective of musicians and collaborators, collectively known as Yesterday's Universe, which has grown into include many more players than before. So don't be confused when you see the track list, though, because all the tracks are all from different aliases, but it's all still Madlib. It contains tracks from their Jackson Conti, Generation Match, Yesterday's New Quintet, the Big Blackfoot Band, RAMC, Russell Jenkins, Jazz Express. You see what I'm saying? It's like they're all aliases, but it's all Madlib. Anyway, 2022 repress on indie exclusive Sea Glass Blue vinyl, and it says the color up here. It doesn't show you what it looks like, but it's Sea Glass Blue. All right, next up we have Meshuggah, Immutable, on Atomic Fire. So these guys, Mavericks, Pioneers, Unique, Immutable, destined to be one of 2022's most hailed and talked about releases. Immutable here once again showcases Meshuggah's collective brilliance, including some of the most jaw-dropping ensemble performances that they've ever executed. Since forming in 1987, the Swedish sound architects known as Meshuggah developed into one of the most technically complex and virtuosic group of players the metal realm has ever had and birthed and encountered. The very distinctly unique brand of progressive groove-infused death metal, it inadvertently launches an entirely new subgenre, and they're recorded in Sweden's Sweet Spot Studios, their 9th full-length album, Immutable. It's the follow-up to their highly acclaimed Grammy-nominated album, The Violent Sleep of Reason. This is a limited edition of 500 copies on gold vinyl. You want to grab that. Okay, next up we have Neck Deep, and this is Wishful Thinking. It's on Hopeless Records. It's the debut studio album by the Welsh pop punk band, originally released in 2014. Now this band definitely shows some promise here and on potential on this album, but on better tracks they managed to come through with some really fun and engaging, heartfelt punk pop. But it's about half the time everything just kind of blends together, and the band in general doesn't come off as distinct or memorable as they could be, but this was their debut. It's on purple vinyl. It tells you that there, and yeah, if you want to get into some of their back catalog. This is Paper Idol. It's called Playground, and it's on the Cloud Kid label. Paper Idol presents The Playground. It's a coming-of-age story that chronicles 8 phases of childhood in 8 tracks. So sidewalk chalk and ice cream cones turn into first crushes and teenage angst, and all through the lens of Paper Idol's signature indie pop electronic production and very witty lyricism. So another nice piece there. This is Penny in the Quarters, and it's called Penny in the Quarters and Friends, and it's on the Numero label. You and Me by Penny in the Quarters. It was like one of those things that just would not stay lost. So for 40 years, the song sat silent in a box of reels before heartthrob Ryan Gosling selected it to star in 2010's indie weeper Blue Valentine. The power of the track set off an international treasure hunt for everyone in pursuit of the mysterious artist behind it. So since then, You and Me has soundtracked thousands of weddings, hundreds of YouTube covers, and just tugged the heartstrings for scores of advertisements and films. 15 years after Eclectic Soul, the pre-label became Numero's worst-selling compilation, and they've reanalyzed the tapes and selected 11 equally as fascinating rehearsals caught by engineer Clem Price in Columbus, Ohio in 1970. It's really pretty interesting stuff. This is Christina Perri, A Lighter Shade of Blue on New Electra, fifth studio album and first completely original project since 2014's album Head or Heart. Each song on A Lighter Shade of Blue consequently deals with varying topics. It has to do with surrender. She explains there's a song about postpartum depression, there's a song about death, there's a song about marriage, song about raising a daughter. It's like everything that you could think of on the whole scale of emotions. And I think she thinks, she's really got them all here, and she doesn't feel like she skipped over anything, but they're all these shades of blue that she's sharing with everyone. So, it's a little bit riding the bummer, but, sometimes that's okay, right? This is Polvo, self-titled on Merge Records. This compilation, it's 9 songs on here, and the first 7 are from Can I Ride? It's a double 7-inch EP from 1990, and the last 2 from Vibra Cobra, backed with the Drill 7-inch. So that was from 1991. They're not quite the sound of a torch being passed, but they were a sign that, like, Sonic Youth's weird tunings and hardcore punk and proto indie rock on SST records, and adding REM's hazy rock, 3 big influences on this era of Polvo. They were, really kind of changing things up here. All right, then we have Primus and the Chocolate Factory. This is on ATO. From the mind of Les Claypool comes this twisted reimagining of the 1971 classic. In your wildest dreams, you could not imagine the surprises that await you on this. It's they have made something that was truly their own while by paying homage to the cinematic classic Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Golden nugget colored vinyl wrapped in a deluxe gold foil jacket, like the golden ticket. So that's, kind of a fun thing. You might enjoy that. It's very interesting. This is Charlie Puth. It's called Charlie. It's on Atlantic, the 3rd album from the Grammy-nominated multi-platinum singer-songwriter-producer Charlie Puth. This is his first full-length project since his 2018 Grammy-nominated LP Voice Notes. Highly anticipated return promises to be his most personal record to date, and every song authentically representing a piece of himself. So, a lot of very popular, guy. I don't know, it's not my thing, but, good for him. He's doing it. This is Scene Queen Bimbo Core, and this is on Hopeless Records, so featuring the viral hit Pink Rover. Here comes Scene Queen's debut EP, Bimbo Core. It blends heavy music, metal, and rock with modern pop, and a whole lot of, pink colors here. Let's see. It's the debut is decidedly catchy, unpredictable, but very, very satisfying. It's not often that an artist creates something so unique and unpredictable that it creates its own genre. But anyway, here we are. It's on hot pink vinyl, and here for you now. This is Shovels and Rope. Oh, Be Joyful. It's let me see, what anniversary is this? 10th anniversary of their breakout debut, Oh Be Joyful, with a double 180-gram LP edition, features all new cover art and packaging and a B disc of new live recordings. essential listening for old fans and newcomers alike. This released to much acclaim in 2012, originally "Oh Be Joyful," the Americana award-winning album from husband and wife singer-songwriters Carrie Ann Hurst and Michael Trent, paved its own lane of punk folk and went to sell over 140,000 copies in the U.S., spawned the triple-A radio hit Birmingham, and landed on the best of the year lists published by NPR, American Songwriter, and Paste magazine. So anyway, 10th anniversary for that in new special packaging, but it is on black wax. All right, next up, a couple of reissues here. This is the Slackers, Wasted Days, and this is on Pirates Press Records. They're happy to announce the long overdue reissue of one of the Slackers' most acclaimed albums, Wasted Days, the fourth studio double album, originally released in 2000. It hasn't been available since 2013, and it's an essential component to any Slackers collection. It showcases their innovative incorporation of diverse influences that create a sound that was truly their own. From ska, reggae, rocksteady, and dub to soul, R&B, calypso, jazz, rock and roll, led by Vic Ruggiero's unmistakably Bronx-accented vocal styling, the band never lose touch with the scrappy energy of where they call home, New York. So that is, that's a nice thing to have reissued. And if that weren't enough, they've got another indie exclusive here too, the one called Red Light. And this one is on Hellcat Records, the 25th anniversary. Previously long out of print, a classic sophomore album of one of the greatest ska bands ever was given the proper treatment here for its 20th anniversary. It's a must-have, whether you're, you own the original or not. The remastered for vinyl Red Light never sounded as good as this, with a 2-color foil stamped cover. Can you kind of see that foiling that they did there? It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but anyway, like I said, blending their iconic sound, ska, reggae, soul, jazz, dub seamlessly. The passion and integrity that this band has embodied, whether you're a new fan or like an old diehard, or whether you pick it up at the band's merch table or your local record store or your favorite online retailer, this is a brilliant reissue and one that you shouldn't pass up. Okay, then we have a various artist. It's actually a soundtrack to the Netflix series Cowboy Bebop. It's on Netflix Music. It's an anime series, and it was accompanied by a number of soundtrack albums composed by Yoko Kanno and the Seatbelts, a diverse band Kanno formed to create the music for the series with a principal focus in jazz. Okay, the soundtrack was released in the American market by Victor Entertainment. It's a subsidiary of JVC Kenwood. It's on a double LP on translucent orange and red marble vinyl. Then we have the soundtrack to Jim Henson's Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock on Lakeshore Records. So Jim Henson's fun-loving musical Fraggles, they're all back. You can join the characters like Gobbo, Red, Wembley, Moki, and a few Fraggle friends on this epic adventures about magic that happens when we celebrate and care for our interconnected world. So this series was produced by the Jim Henson Company in coordination with Apple TV Plus, features Fraggle Rock by the Foo Fighters, and Shine on Us Now, Moon Comes Soon with Patti LaBelle. Anyway, this is a single picture disc, and picture disc is a very good looking one, I would say. Saw photos of it online when I was researching that, and it's a pretty cool looking picture disc. Okay, we also have the original soundtrack to Titanic. This is through Music on Vinyl. So everybody knows it's the 1997 epic romance disaster film, right? Written, co-edited, James Cameron did all that. The movie stars Leo DiCaprio, Kate Winslet. We all know the story. Okay, so this was, let me see here. It was nominated for 14 Academy Awards. It tied with All About Eve from 1950 for the most Oscar nominations. It won 11. including the awards for Best Picture, Best Director, tying with Ben-Hur from 1955, and the most Oscars won by a single film. So with the initial worldwide gross of over 1.84 billion, Titanic was the first film to reach the $1 billion mark. So it's available as a 25th anniversary edition of 7,500 individually numbered copies on smoke-colored vinyl, and it includes an 8-page booklet, extra-large fold-out poster, and print replica of the historical newspaper front page. 2 LP set housed in this deluxe heavyweight gatefold sleeve with this alu brush finish metallic embossing, and that again, it's hard to see on the camera, but all this is that way. And I believe on the sticker here it does tell you that it's on the smoke colored vinyl too. All right, next up we have Sugar Ray. Floored. This is on Music on Vinyl. American rock band Sugar Ray released their second studio album, Floored, in 1997, which was the first album to feature DJ Homicide as an official member of the band, whereas he was a guest musician on the previous album, Lemonade and Brownies. Floored includes 2 versions of the hit track Fly, one of them featuring reggae artist Supercat. The track is their most popular hit to date and was their first big hit, holding the #1 spot on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 airplay for 4 consecutive weeks. As a result of the single's success, the album was certified double platinum. So Floored is available as a limited edition of 2,000 individually numbered copies on translucent green colored vinyl, and it includes an insert. Okay. Then we have Suicide Boys, Long-Term Effects of Suffering on G59 Records. This is the second studio album by the American hip-hop duo Suicide Boys, originally released in 2021, channeling the stark sound of fatalistic worldwide worldview of vintage Southern rap. The New Orleans duo takes grim pleasure in grappling with substance abuse and mental illness. Okay, because that's always fun. All right, this is Tchotchke, and it's self-titled. It's on Org Music. So Tchotchke is Anastasia, Ava, and Emily. New York City-based band's self-titled debut features 10 blazing and instantly sing-alongable anthems, like in a Ramones fast, quick 30 minutes. So receiving immediate critical acclaim, it's no wonder Tchotchke has spent most of the year on the road supporting a who's who of indie bands, such as Broncho, Lemon Twigs, The Paranoids, and Adam Green. I want to say Lemon Twigs produced this as well. Yeah, they produced by Lemon Twigs, and includes an 11 by 17 poster. Okay. All right, this is Ween, Painting the Town Brown. It's live 90 through 98. This is on ATO. The first live album from Ween was released in 1999 by Elektra Records, and it was a career retrospective up to that point, comprised of recordings dating back to the band's very first duo shows up to their theater tour in support of the Mollusk, including the infamous 26-minute version of Poop Ship Destroyer. So this is 3 LPs featuring over 2 hours of music, first ever U.S. pressing, and it's on brown vinyl. And yeah, you can get that one now. Okay, then we have Wild Nothing, Nocturne. This is a repress or a reissue, I think. Yeah, reissue. Captured Tracks is the label here. 10th Anniversary Edition, the critically acclaimed sophomore album by Wild Nothing. It's a window into singer-songwriter Jack Tatum's ideal world of pop music, written largely while he was living in Savannah, Georgia during 2011. The songs that became Nocturne blur the lines between Tatum's influences and personality. The album features some open references to past music, just as his hit debut, Gemini, did, but it's also an album that feels much less rooted in anything in particular, and it marks a distinct evolution in songwriting for Wild Nothing. So this is on marble vinyl. It doesn't say what color. I'm assuming blue because of the way that everything, the artwork is and all that, but it just says marbled vinyl, limited to 5,000 copies. It includes all new marble art inserts. See, this is actually die cut, this whole frame around here. And I think that this artwork, you can maybe change it around or something. I'm not sure. But it's got a 2022 moon chart. I don't know. It's a little late in the year for that, don't you think? But anyway, and also new liner notes. Okay. So that is what I have for you. We're reaching the 45-minute mark here. So we got some in. The list is going to be down below with prices. There won't be everything that we talked about. There's probably going to be more on the list, but just trying to get you some info. Do yourself a favor and pick up Sir Queedle, this deluxe edition. And remember, the eye is indicating the color of the vinyl, and it would be either this magenta pink, the blue splattery one, or the yellow orange one. And what a beauty. Okay, so have a great week, have a great weekend, and I hope you're all getting your Christmas in order, your holiday stuff, whatever you celebrate. And I hope there was something here that piqued your interest. I will talk to you next week. Bye.